welcome to this week's trading recap. And this week I lost 1%. Not really, not part of my performance. And yeah, let's get into it. So the first trade was on Monday, and this trade honestly it sucked. Honestly, like I was really pissed about this trade, and the reason is that on the weekly time frame on GU, we had this really nice weekly fair value gap, and I wanted to target this high right there. So right on Monday, I wanted to target it, and I like honestly, the last week's price was wild. Like we went higher and higher without any retracement, so couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't predict that honestly. Like if you look at this candle on Monday, this is the weekly open. We went straight up for the whole week. Like it was wild, honestly. But anyways, yeah, on Monday we were trading off of this weekly fair value gap right here, and my usual setup was to just take a trade off that weekly fair value gap to target the high. However, my mistake was that this daily fair value gap was really bothering me. Like I felt like we might have gone lower from it. Like if we that time on Monday, so I had this price action. We were coming off this weekly fair value gap, but we had this bearish daily fair value gap acting as a resistance, right? So I wanted to target that. So how can I target that? Using this 4 hour fair value gap that we had coming into Monday. Like this was such a nice price action, man. Oh my god. So I basically used this 4 hour to target the daily fair value gap because this daily fair value gap is a resistance for me because we can't go lower from it. So I waited for price to tap into this 4 hour fair value gap and basically just waiting for a reaction off of it. And I remember it was at 3 a.m. I wanted to sleep. It was really late because I was eating because I'm fasting. And like I was just waiting for a reaction up. Like at 3 a.m. I was basically just ready to go to sleep. And once I saw this reaction, because if we look at the dollar at that time, the dollar, it gave me this sort of reaction right here. So right there, basically this reaction. And looking back at it, like we are still technically respecting this bullish for gap. So I had to wait. Honestly, I should have waited because we respected this 15-minute for gap, and once we respected it and we swept this high right here, that's when we had the reaction, right? But as you can see, it was at 3 a.m. I just wanted to sleep, and I just needed to wait more for more confirmation. And look, I got stopped out. Like I woke up in the morning to see this, and oh my god, I was so pissed. Like basically just I was basically liquidated. Like I just got stopped out and price reacted straight to it and went to my take profit. But my mistake was that instead of staying late and waited for a small reaction on the 50-minute time frame, like I could have simply entered on the 4 hour time frame. Like I could have simply done this. Enter right here. No. Enter right here, stop loss on this low, and simply aim higher to the high that I want to target. And it's just I don't know why that daily fair value gap was bothering me so much, but I could have simply went at break even once we target the daily fair value gap. So I should have just used a bigger stop loss, and that would have been a perfect trade, and we eventually went higher. But I had to move on. That's how it is. So yeah, that was the first trade. And Tuesday I didn't trade. Wednesday was a wild day for me. I disrespected a lot of my risk management rules. So going into Wednesday, my first trade, I took like 5 trades. I usually take 5 trades in a week, and that day I traded 5 times. Like I'm gonna explain why. And the first trade was on gold. We were respecting this weekly fair value gap, and basically with this candle going higher, I'm aiming for this swing high to go higher, basically following the trend. And we had this 4-hour fair value gap right here. If I can fast forward right here, we had this 4-hour to go higher, but once we traded into it with this candle, we failed to go higher. And so I'm basically waiting potentially to sweep this low to then go higher again. And that's what we did. We swept this low, went higher, and I had the 15-minute reaction right here. And that's when I entered. Like, it was a really great entry, honestly. The thing is that I wanted to target higher to respect the weekly fair value gap. Whoa, whoa, whoa. To respect this weekly fair value gap to go higher, but I got stopped out at break even right here. Yeah, so instead of going higher to the weekly target that I had, we swept the 4-hour swing high right here and then go lower. So what I could have done differently was that I could have simply just targeted this 4-hour high to respect this 4-hour fair value gap. That's it for a 1.5 or even 1 to 2. Like, I could have put a buy limit on this fair value gap right here and aim for 1 to 2, but I aimed higher. But I'm not mad at this trade, honestly. Like, I respected my plan. Price went to break even. I could have done nothing about it. But that was the first trade. So I was at break even, and that's it. After that gold trade, during the same session on the S&P 500, we also had like the same type of setup. So we were coming off of this 4-hour fair value gap right here, and I wanted to just follow the trend, go lower, and aim for that swing low. And as you can see with this wick, we respected firstly the 4-hour fair value gap, but then we failed to go lower to target that low right there. And so once that happens, I'm basically looking for a sweep of some type of high to then go lower again. And so on the 1 hour, I could see that we were sweeping all of these highs right here. We went lower, and coming into market open, we had this 1 hour fair value gap that I wanted to tap into and then go lower. And that's what happened. Like, with this wick right here, as you can see, we tapped into the 1 hour fair value gap and then had a reaction down. And I basically entered off of that reaction right here with a big stop loss to target this low right here. And so I was basically at break even once price reacted off of it. We then retraced into that 5-minute reaction, 5-minute fair value gap, then went lower, and I entered again while being break even on the first trade. And yeah, so we went lower again, and at 12 p.m. we had this reaction up, and I don't even understand why. Like, there weren't any news. We were so close to my TP. Like, come on, man, so close to my TP, and price just went straight to my entry right here. I was at break even on both trades, so that was good. That was fine. But I could have made like 3 or 4% with this trade, but I'm not mad, honestly. Like, it was a great trade when I was at break even on both trades, but so that's okay. I just had to move on. But during that same session, I also traded USD JPY, and that's when everything went bad, honestly. Like, on USD JPY, same kind of setup. We were coming off this 4-hour fair value gap. We were disrespecting this 4-hour fair value gap, and so I basically wanted to target this low with the dollar even going lower and lower. So yes, coming off of this 4-hour fair value gap right here, during the morning session we had formed this 1-hour fair value gap, and so I was basically looking for a reaction down, like the same kind of setup. And yeah, we reacted off of this one right here, price went lower, and then hit my stop loss. And like, I was so confident in this setup. Like, why did price retrace that deeply? I didn't understand why. And then price just showed me the same setup, so I entered again, and that's when it went bad. Like, I should have just closed my computer once I hit that stop loss, because my daily risk is 1%, and so once once I had that loss, I should have just closed my computer and not enter again. But I was a bad loser, man. I entered again for some reason. I was so confident in this trade, but like once I take a loss, man, I need to just move on. So yeah, I disrespected my risk management rules, but the thing that I should have done, honestly, instead of like waiting into this lower time frame, like I could have just simply entered off of this 1 hour. Like that's it. Aim for the swing low right here and have a big stop loss for the 1 to 2. Like that's it. And like we even eventually went lower. Like I tried to trade into this bad condition. Like the first loss was okay. I'm not even mad about the first loss. That's perfectly fine. But entering again like was such a mistake. We're even at like late into the session, so it was low probability. But if I had simply just traded off of this 1 hour for buy gap, why not win my day? Not even look at the 5 minute. Like price would have hit my TP. So like I'm learning every week to just enter off of this higher time frame. Honestly, like it's just better to have a big stop loss instead of staying in front of the computer and just waiting for a 5 minute reaction down. Anyways, that was all the trades that I took Wednesday. I was down 2% at that time on the week. No, I was down 3%. Yes, I was down 3%, and honestly, I was pretty bad mentally at that moment of time. Like losing 3%, I wasn't even waking up early like I should. Like, I'm just not following my routine, man. Oh my god, I need to be more disciplined and wake up early. But yeah, so Thursday I didn't trade. I just wasn't good mentally. I didn't want to trade, and I came back Friday. And Friday, I remember we had cat news right here. Cat news, and so I was basically just looking at the crosses, all the cat pairs, and on cat CHF, honestly, we had a really nice setup. So on cat CHF, on the daily time frame, we were coming off of this bearish daily fair value gap. Coming off of it, we formed. Oh no, sorry, this one right here. We're coming off of this bearish daily fair value gap, then form another one. Like we had a clear trend. Like it was a high probability setup because we had such a nice trend. Coming off of this first daily fair value gap, forming a new one, and off of this bearish daily fair value gap, on the 4 hour time frame, we respected this 4 hour fair value gap really nicely with this wick. Then again, form multiple 1 hour fair value gap down. So this really was a high probability setup. Entered on the 1 hour, had a big stop loss, learned from my mistake on the USD JPY trade to not look at the lower time frame. Like I can simply just enter on the higher time frame and have a big stop loss. It's just better. Like it's stress free, honestly. And yeah, price hit TP like that. This was a perfect trade. Simply staying on the higher time frame. That's what I do best, honestly. So yeah, so lost 1% on the week. Really pissed off of that USD JPY trade, like disrespecting my risk management rules. But that's okay. I'm learning every single week, learning to just stay on the higher time frame, especially on the crosses. On the crosses, like I'm always staying on the 4 hour daily, 1 hour to 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 look at the charts. Like, and even on your USD GBP USD, I should stay on the higher time frame and not look that much into the lower time frames. But yeah, that was the week. Still down. I think I'm down 3% right now on the 100K account. But honestly, I'm just learning to stay more patient. Like stay more patient, not not force trades. Let the trades come to me. Follow my routine, man. I'm struggling with following my routine. Like I'm waking up late so many days. It's tough, man. But I'm really glad how I ended the week because even if I had lost this trade on the CAD CHF, would have respected my rules. Like, at the end of the day, it's all about respecting my rules. The first trade on GPP USD, I'm mad, but I respected my rules. That's okay. Wednesday on the NQ trade, respected my rules, no problem. On the gold trade, respected my rules, but USD GPY didn't respect my rules. So yeah, just gotta stay patient, man. I'll eventually crawl back out of drawdown. And yeah, so catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.